Thank you very much. Thank you to the Eagle River Singers from Kitigan, Zibi, Anishinaabeg, and Barrier Lake for sharing the beautiful beat of the drum with us this morning. And thank you all for being here at the final national gathering for the Unmarked Burials, the release of an Indigenous-led reparations framework. I'd just like to take a moment to introduce myself to you all. My name is Kira Delarond. I'm a very proud Red River Métis whose family comes from Duck Bay, Manitoba. I was raised urban in Selkirk, Manitoba, and I acknowledge all my relations from Norway House, from York Factory, from Duck Bay, from Camperville, from Selkirk, and the surrounding areas. I would now like to invite Elder Peter DeConti from the Algonquin Nation in Kitigan, Zibi, Anishinaabeg to provide us with the opening prayer this morning.
Got a little help there from Lever. Good morning, everybody. Quick, you know, and check. Menuji boat. Don't remember Nishnabin up waving. The RGB Nishnabin. This morning, I will do opening prayer in the RGB Algonquin. And at this time I was asked to remember in our prayers Mary Sinclair, who's in the hospital, very sick at this moment. She was the one, I believe, that started this organization. So with that, we'll go on. If you honor me by standing up. Jamaldo, Shimi Westno, Gayjabok, Madazavin, Minamadzavin, Kakina, Aitona, Ilakamik, Eje Zimada also, Anishnaabe Waki. Wintam Anishnaabe, I says Ijabita. Jimmy Witch. Kakinadas, Aiton, Zimadaziam, or Ichigizas, Memusage, and the Sugizik, or Lokawach, Ushkaki, Kwenikadalanan, also Anishnaabe Waki. Eje Pamea Sunich. The Bikizes, no shag. Who commissioned on the edge, Waluka, White, who commissioned Eje Ashkame Visionage, Eje Nanaki in it, Aje Minuzinage. Aedas, Enesu Ejik, E Penimoyang, Eje Madiziang, E Kunevin, Echinorden, Ayabajatuan, Eje Ejenesia. I can Nebi and the Gog, Echigam, Sai, and Sibin, Nebi Basing, Nebi Wain among Namakika, me which I can. Shude, Ayabajatuan, and then so Ejik. We look out young as a Madzian, when I make a Shkude giving. Eilish, a penimoang, is wishing young as a Madzian, or a Sinzak, Neshwak, Kigonzak, can I win Scott Nebi? What was I? Neshwak, Kigonzak, in the West Scott Nebi. Erin Ninzwaganak, Ninzwagansak, Winava, Marwewach, Bevanzo, Neva, Ejewishnian, and Sugijik, it's me which can I. Eres que no ajak, awin wani ke sinanik, aya, nimeshom sinanik, nigok me sinanik. Estu wajin yabaj, je kenamawawach, ayan, wishni inijin. Madzwin, shouldn't madzwin. Eres que no ajak, it's me which now. Eche again with tawaj. Nakuna mawaje out was win, she out was win ogum, yabach bibamishkak, eche nanizanek. Eche me wech nawag, ige. Eche no ajak, I was so maudose, aujidan. Keche. Is het waar maak, mouden de mij. Oja, heb een oudje schrik, ben een wiegel. Ik wat kan je in was. Nou wat net aan. Als je go, ik ga bij weet. Ja, maar ik ga met een nieuw. In no kajak shegeten lam tananevan ye che we sijigade shimi wech now go kina in a maujido maujido mojino gum kajak shimi wech session chamando shimi wech. Thank you. Might say a few words. As important as it is today, this very conference, very, very important conference. We must also remember to thank the Great Spirit. What has He created here on earth for us to survive? That's mentioned in the native paradise, is said, more in detail, of course. But the reason I say that is we don't realize, we don't know, don't remember sometimes how lucky we are to have so much first of all, so much food to survive on, not only in our tables, but I mean, anywhere you go in this part of the country, and in the U.S. also, you go to a supermarket and you just see that supermarket is just full of food. Whereas sometimes you don't see this on TV taking place in overseas someplace, poor countries. So we should be thankful for that. And today I wish you all a very good meeting, and the fire is lit all day. Anyone that wants to come do some offering or just meditate or speak to someone is more than welcome. So this evening the fire will be put out and restart again tomorrow morning for the day. So for today, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elder DeConte, for your prayer, for bringing our minds together in a good way, but also for your words and for your wisdom. I would now like to invite Bernice Clark and her daughter, Athelia, who traveled from Iqaluit to be with us today to light the kulik.
Okay, Daima. My name is Bernice Hutu Clark. I am from Iqaluit, Nunavut. This is my daughter, Alethea Akuliksi Clark. I am passing on knowledge to my daughter. I was 40 when I first started to light the kulliq because we have, the kulliq was no longer a daily part of our lives. But I remember my grandmother, she would light the kulliq. Her name was Kanayuk Kutu. I'm going to tell you who my family are and where I am from before I tell you about my grandmother. I am from Iqaluit, Nunavut. My grandparents' names were Kanayuk, Ikilua, Kutu. My mother's name was Anikutu. We are from South Baffin Island, Cape Dorset, Kimmirot area. Moved to Iqaluit. There is a love story behind my grandparents. I would love to tell that story. I will tell you very briefly. He was 14, she was 16, and he went to Atami, my grandmother's mother, and he said, I really like her. And he wanted to take her for his wife, and thank you. My mouth is very dry. My medication makes my mouth dry. So Ataumi, my grandmother's mother, she said, okay, you want to marry my daughter? You will have to walk. You will have to walk to Iqaluit from Kimmirut. I don't know why it's doing that. Is it me or is it you? So they walked. They walked to Iqaluit from Kimmirut. It's about an hour by plane. If you make it to Iqaluit, you can marry my daughter. That's how we moved to Iqaluit. They made it. I'm here today. So my grandparents, they came from the Nuna and became workers. My grandmother would light the kulliq, and I remember the look on her face. It was very calm. She was very tough. My grandmother, I understand why now that I'm an adult. I know what she let go. She let go of a lot. Okay. My heart has opened. I'm learning to be more gentle because I know what they went through. I was, as a teenager, I didn't understand. As a 20-year-old, I didn't understand. 30-year-old, I still didn't. And now I have come to realize who they are, who they were, who they are. I want to continue on the things that were not always available to me, like the kulliq. It is who we are. The kulliq is the stone from the land, the Nuna. The wick is from the land. It's Arctic cotton here. I was gifted this in Arctic Bay. Here is Uryu. I can't remember the English word. This would be like paper towel as well, cleanup. It was on the bottom of the hut, keep out the bugs, and cleanliness too. This was gifted to me in Greenland. They use Uryu. I didn't know that. That was a beautiful gift. What used to be the value has changed for me. I used to just blow them, and I didn't really understand. Now I know this was our medicine. It was our insulation, our kami, our wick. So much more than I didn't realize it. So much was in these little pieces that I knew my grandma knew what they meant, and I would watch her face. She would get so sailiyo. She would get very calm. She didn't have the patience to teach us. I understand. It's okay. I'm not mad anymore. It was one of her things that she decided. This is what I believed, because I would watch her. I believe that it was one of the things that, they cannot take that from me. She would go to the washroom. Me and my cousin, we were about 2 years apart. I know you're not supposed to have a favorite, but we do. My grandmother named Wendy after her very good friend, cousin, very good friend, Malaya. So Malaya and my grandmother had a very special relationship, and I know that's where it comes from. So she was more gentle to Wendy. So I asked, I'm going to the washroom. She said, don't touch my kullak. Okay, we won't. And then she closed the door. I went to the kullak and I started moving it around as if I think this is what she does. And then she came out of the washroom and she looked at the kullak. Who touched my kullak? Wendy. And Wendy's like, yeah, I did. So that I was so curious, and I really wanted to touch the kullak, but I was scared. So in my adult years, I went to Pirofik. It is called Bring the Kullak Home. My teachers were late Mika Angnakak from Panakto. She told me some words I'm going to share with you, and also I'm going to share words from late Kunuk Makpak, changed my life. I'm going to close with those words. But let me first introduce you to the kullak. On the top here, her name is kullak. On the bottom, you would have to catch the oil dripping, but today I brought the baleen bone and this very special kullak my husband gave to me. I haven't been able to light it because it's too pretty. And I do have 2 other kullit. I keep going in the house if somebody comes in. Have you ever lit the kullak before? In Inuktitut, I would say, ikumat salaw simavi. And I could see, like me, no. You want to? So I make it it's hard to say no. It's already set up all the time. There's 2 at home. I gifted one kullak to my panik, my daughter, because this is who I am passing on the knowledge, and it's such a beautiful gift to give the kullak. What did it mean to Inuit? The kullak. It was our stove, it was our electricity, it was the heat. What else am I missing? Stove? Did I say stove? I have my notes. Because when everybody's staring at you, what happens? You get like, I don't know, me, I get shy. Stove, electricity, dryer, heat, heart of the home. It would face the head household. It would face me, and I would take care of it. And let me tell you the names now. Shredder, manik, which is a moss. You would shred it here. Take suputi or Arctic cotton. Suputi is I'm not even sorry that I don't know the English word. It used to be the other way. Takutika, ukwalo, takuti, amauti, munisuti. It is the lighter. Takut, ukwa ikitijut. So I light this with my panik. I will pass the light onto my panik with these. Then we switch to these. Mika ang nakak, she said to me, not just to me, but I really took it in my heart. Everything she was saying, because I waited a very long time. She was sweet, gentle, kind, funny. Okalaw si Mamman. Tigulo ko? Immediately ako si Mamman. Oh, my mouth is dry. Takoti biduna. This takot has a purpose. Don't take its job away. Its purpose is to light the kullak. Every time I say that now, it goes deeper and deeper, because it made me see what she was saying really, that everyone has a job and a purpose. Don't take it away from them. I got goosebumps. Ikisivara, I will light the kullak now. I will pass the light to my daughter, and we will light the kullak together. I prefer the Arctic cotton because you can use uryu, you can use suputi with manak. Arctic cotton on its own, yeah, it can, yes, not suputi. Suputi needs manak. Not money, but manak. Mas. That's what Mika said. She was funny. I didn't expect that. She was speaking Inuktitut, and then she started speaking. She was being punny. Not money. Yeah, girl. She was so sweet. Amalo to sakse mammi jama. Aloke kutte ana netsegelaw tapia kupa. Ay kupa. She came to NTI with Mika before we brought the kullak. Before I took the course, I still was scared, but I listened and I watched. And I videotaped it. I wasn't ready for the information back then yet. I had videotaped and I went over the video, and late Kupak said to Mika, just how they were talking, oh, and this, sharing knowledge. She said, if you make peaks like mountains, this is for anybody that likes qurliq, she said, make peaks easier to like. I saw that video and realized I wasn't ready then. So information is always waiting for us for when we're ready. Thank you for that. Tamaiki Sivara. The taqut I am lighting right now was gifted to me by my friend Jay Lightfoot. She went to her home land and she picked a taqut for me. When Inuit collected the wick, we didn't only collect for ourselves. We collected for everyone. We always took care of one another. Don't take more than what you need. Share with others. One of the techniques that helped me understand to make it look like teeth or mountains. So that was really helpful for me. Today we use canola oil, vegetable oil. We would have used seal, fat, whale fat, caribou, and the oil drippings that would go into the ilngao would be thrown away. But if you didn't have, back then it was hard to find. Sometimes it was, you had no oxo, oil, so you would reuse them. Another one I heard, I forgot her name again. She shared, she shares on Instagram knowledge passed down to her father, and I'm so very thankful for her for that. We don't have enough people sharing knowledge. And she said she had heard from an elder in Rankin Inlet, told her, it is in the shape of the womb. Beautiful. Life. There were, don't run across the khulluq. You see what's happening to the flame because of the air conditioning? We were told, children, don't run here, you're making the flame move. So we would have to be very calm around the khulluq. My daughter and I have lit the khulluq 3 times now. I am so proud of my daughter because I was in my 40s when I was able to touch the khulluq. And she picks it up like pen, you know, like a pen, you know, just sat there, just picks it up. There's nothing attached to that. It really heals that part of me because she can just pick it up and be very comfortable. It's so beautiful and so brave. I'm so proud of her. I don't want to give too much attention to her. 13, it's very hard when we're young. Daima, she's made them look like perfect teeth. I always tell her, wow, beautiful flame. Daima tiakulo. During COVID, I got to know the Qulliq very well because I took the course 2018. COVID happened end of 2019. Lucky for me because I hung out with myself for many hours and something started to happen. I started to find me and take this knowledge and really take it in and let it be a part of my everyday life. And my skill of lighting the Qulliq, it was just getting better and I was getting more confident. I started to grow and I want to teach other youth to take on the Qulliq and the knowledge and the Mika's words and the names, the value, why, the why. It's who we are. So DNA is so loud. And when I was disconnected, I was really lost. I was at risk. And what saved me was a theater group in Inuktitut, in Pond Inlet. It saved me because then I took my language back. It forced me to take on my language back. When I moved to Pond Inlet, the dialect is different, so they made fun of me. I'm never speaking Inuktitut again. Shoot myself in the foot. So I took away the very thing that they made fun of me for. So I lost it. Even though I'm surrounded in Inuktitut fully, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I went home for a visit, and my grandmother, I was talking to my grandmother, and I couldn't say bathtub. No way. I saw the look on her. She looked out the window and like as if, oh, she doesn't speak anymore, and looked away. And it hurt. It really hurt. So I said, I'm going to Pond Inlet. They're not going to make fun of me anymore, and I'm going to take my language back. I'm going to own it. I'm going to come back and speak to my grandmother. And I did. And I went back. Yay! 9 years old. You're not going to do that anymore. I wasn't able to speak to my grandmother. So I told everybody, I'm going to speak Inuktitut now. I don't care if you make fun of me. So, and I saw the face. That's all it took. Yeah, that's all it took. Okay, so I took on, ever since I struggled. Once I let go of the language, it was a constant struggle. My mother struggled too, because she went to federal day school and she was told not to speak her language. So during Inuit studies days, I would go to my mother in my 20s, beautiful Alexina in the front was my instructor. And I would go to my mother and ask her the questions that we were asked to ask. And she says, don't ask me, I don't know anything. I don't know Inuktitut anymore. I speak it, but I can't explain the question you're asking. So I took that from her. I took a lot of, I don't know, you know. I recognized that, and Daima, I'm going to stop the things that aren't serving us. And I always wondered what that little thing, when I was a little girl, what that thing was. It always felt like it was covering me. I always kept it down, and I said, wait till I grow up. It's not going to be this way. I'm going to do things differently when I become an adult. So I need to stay healthy. I need to keep, I don't know what it was. I feel like it was trauma. Now that I am doing more of my healing, and I want to do more. What I see from healing, how far I've come, things are clearing up. I'm clearing up. I'm getting even lighter, like less pain in my body. I didn't realize I was holding on pain. I do it really well. I hold on to things really well, and I realize it's from holding on trauma. So process it, release it, let go. I'm going to leave you with the words from late Kunuk Makpak. What happened in this room, I was full of lateral violence in my, I'm not going to be afraid to speak the truth anymore because I'm not hurting anybody. They weren't very nice. My trauma, I would go to them and just try and make them like me. So, in the room, she looked at me, and she looked at the room, the students, and she said, she pointed at me and she said, she looked at everybody and said, "Inuukhati takuwit na minili. Inuukhati upiki khattaro. Inuukhati se ikayo khattaksiu." Still pointing at me. Inuukhati naligi khattarum. She said, "Look at her. She's got a business. She's Inuk. Be proud of her. Support her. Help her. Love your fellow Inuit. Love your fellow Inukatik." It was so powerful. You could feel everyone listening, taking it in. And I was just crying because she didn't know she was changing the dynamics in that room. Her words really, my husband reminds me when I forget. She said, Lake Kunuk Makpak from Arctic Bay. She lived in Iqaluit. Okay. She said, everything that you say and everything that you do come from these three places. Is it helpful? Is it useful? And is it coming from love? Try that. It gets rid of a lot of things that aren't useful. That can end lateral violence. It did in that room. Everybody changed to me that room. So I'll say them in Inuktitut because it's more powerful. English is like, I always say English is like our first layer of skin. Inuktitut is third layer. deep. I'm going to go deep right now. Deep dive. Okay. She said, "Okaktatit imene aperekattaklut ukua. Atu te kakpa. Ikayu te kakpa. Nalini me ngakpa." I'm going to leave you those words, and please take them how you want. Use them however you want. They've changed my life and many others. Thank you so much for having us here today. Nakormek, Alithia and I are humbled and so thankful for this opportunity. I'm ready to let go of whatever else I'm holding on that I thought was useful. Nakormek, Taima.
Bernice and Athelia, thank you very much for lighting the kulik this morning, sharing your tradition with us, and as well as your story. It was very, very emotional, and I felt it, and I feel those in the room felt it as well. So thank you very much, Bernice. I would now like to invite Sylvia Cloutier from Kuujjuaq Nunavik, who will sing for us and play the drum for us this morning.
Hi. Sylvia Nguyunga, Kuujjuaq Mutayavunga. I'm Sylvia. I'm originally from Kuujjuaq Nunavik. I lived also in Nunavut for over 25 years. And now I find myself in Tiohtià:ke, Montreal. When I look around the room, I see a lot of strong people. I see a lot of survivors. I see a lot of people who went through a lot in life. And a lot of people in this room is a generation older than me. I'm also the daughter of a survivor. I'm my grandmother's granddaughter. I am my two sons' mother. And I've seen the difference in our generations and how we express ourselves. And I know from living this life that it was very difficult to express ourselves for my grandmother, for my mother. And for my generation, it was difficult to understand the struggles because sometimes the pain was too difficult to talk about. But I want to say that I acknowledge how you feel. I've learned a lot from the generations older than me, but I've also learned a lot from my generation who are very open about, not all of us, but a lot of us are very open about how we feel because we want our kids to feel like they can open up. And you guys did the work for us. So I want to thank you, even though it was very difficult to open up and express yourself from what you went through. Thank you for opening up, even if it was just a little bit. Because I really believe that when we understand where we come from, and we understand why our family is angry, why our family is not talking, why are people self-sabotaging, when we understand where the root of that pain is, then we can start to open up and lift off that heaviness for our kids to express themselves. One of the things that I've learned in my lifetime too, living in the North, and I think it's the constant, and it might be one of the very few things that is very constant in life, is that one thing that heals is nature. When we go out in nature, and everyone here is from all over the country, and I don't think it matters where you are in the country, when you go to nature, you feel that sense of peace. And we all have that in common. And this is where we come from. And so I'd like to share a song that I created with a friend of mine in Iqaluit. One day when I woke up and I looked out my window, and it was a beautiful day. The sky was pink, just like when I woke up this morning and I looked out the window. The sky was pink, and I thought, oh, I want to go out. I want to go out today. Today is a good day to go out. And when I looked out at the view, and I looked at the hills, and I looked at the water, and I could just want to explore a little further. I wonder what it looks like over there. And then I started to think, my ancestors, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and all that generation, they saw the same view when you're out on the land. I'm not talking about the city. But you can look through the city. You could look at nature for what it is, and it's real, and it's grounding. And so this song is a song that expresses that feeling of wanting to go out and sitting in that feeling and just being reminded that what we see is what our ancestors saw, and I have that in common with them. And our ancestors run in our veins. So whenever we think, as a young person, whenever I think, I can't do this, how am I going to do this? Well, my ancestors did it, and they even had a harder time, so I can do it too. And they run through my veins. So they are a part of me. And I also want to acknowledge all the animals that we hunt and wear for giving us life. Silat siava makaisivunga aya inuk swalwin malihik pagka aya Damauna aulak tu vini Nirjuti dautu baka uvani dautuk tualuit inusemu turangayu aya Silat siava makaisivunga aya inuk swalwit malik pagka aya damahona aulak tu vini nirjuti ti tau tu paka uvahani tau tuk tualui inu silmu turangayo aya 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 Nakurmik, I wish you a really healing and healthy gathering. Nakurmik.
Thank you very much, Sylvia, for your beautiful song and for the drumming. I would now like to invite Elder Wilson Bearhead to the stage from Treaty 6 territories in Alberta for the empty chair ceremony.
Ambostino, Tagutwa, Misnagaha, Michadidaha, Ishnishi Chigebun. I just want to say thank you to every one of you here from the bottom of my heart. Wakane, Ninma Kuchinin Amani, Yaumiti, Tochagit. Gitihita hunabitat ingeboni shaumin hitabana. The old ones, the elders, used to tell us that the Creator, when He brought us to walk on this earth, He told us that we're going to have challenges in our life. And it's so unfortunate that it was the Indigenous people that faced the greatest challenge ever. Today I just want to express a few words about the empty chair. The first gathering, of course, was held a few years ago in Edmonton, Alberta. And the old people, they said that ceremony awakens the spirit within each and every one of us. It brings back healing. So the empty chair that's here today, in the first gathering we set it up, and it's to recognize and symbolize those children that didn't make it home. Every one of you in this room has a story about a child that never came home. Every one of you has a story about a child. You were told that that child died of sickness. but you've never got the opportunity to have a ceremony to lay that child to rest. You never had the opportunity to take that hair from that child till you can make a sacred bundle. You weren't given that opportunity. So in Edmonton, we put a chair up. And like here, a lot of people came to the first gathering with that story in mind. That story that's been in you for many, many, many years. When we put that chair up, we were acknowledging those little ones that never made it home. And each and every one of you, when you came in, you brought someone with you. So on one side of the room were the people that came to this gathering, not only for support, but also to find justice for what had happened. So each time you came into the room, you brought someone with you. You sat on that side, and the children sat in front of you. Because that was our way. There was always a place for everyone. On that day, there was a place for the children to come and sit. Because they've waited many years to hear your words. They waited many years to hear your story. But they also waited many years so that the healing can begin. Over the years, I've heard many stories about the grandmothers who never saw their children, communities who wondered where their children were. Today, as we sit and gather, we understand what needs to be done. You know, when I think about those children during those difficult times, they must have been thinking, I want someone to hold me. I want somebody to talk to me. I want somebody to love me. Today, we're here to tell them, you have someone to hold you. You have someone to talk to. You have someone to love you. So when we leave this gathering like we did in Edmonton, we encourage everybody to take the children home with them and tell those children, we are here now. We've been in silence for too long. We are here now, and we're no longer going to be silent. So this is where this chair began. And as it traveled across Canada, a lot of people came and acknowledged that little chair where the children were to sit. And at every gathering, all the children came and sat in the room with us. The old people, they say, when you invite them, they will come. In Edmonton, we asked the elders, when they lifted their pipes, to thank the people who are here for being here, but also to bring the children to the room. And we can do those things when we lift that pipe. My brother Howard and his wife Phyllis are here. And they did that for us in Edmonton. And this morning, we did the same thing again. I think tomorrow there's going to be another ceremony. And there was a community not too long ago where 215 unmarked graves were discovered in that community. the hardest thing to accept is we didn't know how they left this world. The hardest thing to accept is we never had a chance to say, I love you. And I think these are the things that bring us here today. And as we move forward, one day there'll be a time where we'll take that time. Maybe not today, but maybe within a few days or within a few months or within a year. In our own communities, we will have that ceremony once all the work is done, and acknowledging those children. You know, for many of us, when we brought children into this world, we always had a hope and dreams for their lives. That they would live a fruitful life. They would live until their hair grew white. And they would stand in front of their communities with a lot of wisdom and knowledge to share. But for these ones, they weren't given that opportunity. So tomorrow we're going to transfer all the gifts and the chair to the Kamloops Indian Band. That's where the journey began. That's where the stories unfolded. So I thank each and every one of you for being here today. Our hearts are open. Our eyes are open. Our mind is open. And our spirit knows what we need to do. So I thank each and every one of you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you today. And I also like to thank the people in this territory, unceded Algonquin territory, for welcoming us and hosting us in their community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elder Bearhead. I would like to now welcome Elder Daryl Boissonneau from Garden River First Nations. We'll be doing the Spirit Dish Prayer.
Wayne Mojo na the way mga nadok, nito magabo and go, the maid or them, Kitty on ZB, don't you ba? Good morning, relatives, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, and a special good morning to Kimberly Murray, special interlocutor for missing children and unmarked graves. I feel a special connection to this territory because I come from Kitigan ZB as well. Different location, but a strong connection to our sister First Nation of Kitigan ZB. So Garden River is where I come from. Our Ojibwe people along within the Great Lakes region. I was passed tobacco to speak a little bit about the spirit plate and its intention. And it's been the practice of these gatherings to have the spirit plate for us so that we can remember our ancestors and those who came before us, those who stood up and fought for our rights, those who stood up and fought for our sovereignty, and ensured that we are able to gather here today in this special gathering. It's also a reminder that with these Tikanogans, these cradle boards that are here with us as well, that reminds us of that future generation that's going to come before us, the trail that we are blazing for them, so that they'll have a safe place to live and that they'll be able to learn all the ceremonies and their language and their traditions that was taken away from us. In a few more days, on November the 1st, It is a custom in our community in Garden River, Kitigan-ZB, and many First Nations along the north shore of Lake Huron in the Robinson-Huron Treaty area that a custom that we practice is it's called All Souls Day, or it's called Jibai Gijik, or Toussaint. And it's a day that all of our communities come together, whether they're families, or the community, our clans, and we honor and recognize those who have gone on before us, so that we can continue the memory of our ancestors and who we are, that we never, never, never forget our grandmothers and our grandfathers that came before us, and the work that they did for us along the way, but more importantly, what they left along the path for us. Everything that we need to make us strong Anishinaabe people or Indigenous people. They're the ones who stood up before us. And it's this one day on November the 1st that we honor, we practice, and we remember our ancestors. And this has been a custom in our family for as long as I can remember. And it was always led by our grandmother. And she made sure that we were all there as a family to honor those who have gone before us. And in the plate, the food plate that we prepared for them, it was all the favorite foods of our ancestors that they enjoyed when they were here on this physical realm of Mother Earth. Whether it was fish or wild meat, wild rice, the sacred foods of our people that they ate. In modern times, we put in Kentucky Fried Chicken and those kind of things. But it's still the intention that we honor the foods of our people in anything that we do. And it was very humbling this morning to listen to be part of the lighting of the fire and to listen to the teachings again that were given to us. I listened closely as the lady from Kitigan-ZB talked about Abenoji and what that means, right? And the intention of the fire and the sharing of the water and the berries and the pipe ceremony that happened here this morning. And we're given this privilege today to listen to not only the big drum that is here with us as well, but the drum from the north. The one thing that struck me this morning when they're lighting that kulik, I think that's what it is what the lady said. And it's what I'm going to carry with me for the rest of the day. Pretty simple. She said, I open my heart. And that's what we need to do. We need to open our hearts towards one another. Because the importance of the spirit plate is opening up our hearts to our ancestors, those who have gone on before us, and that we need to commemorate them each and every day. But if we can set that one day aside to have that special day for them, we'll honor them with this food. And I want to thank Laver for passing that tobacco so that we can continue to do this. We found it interesting that many of our nations across the country do practice this in one form or another. There may be slight differences, but the intention is the same, is to give that food into the fire so that our ancestors can receive it and that we can nourish their spirit as well. And it's from that nourishment of that spirit that will give us the strength to move forward. They tried hard to eradicate us, but we're still here. And we need to be proud of our ancestors for doing that. But in this gathering, we pay particular attention to the children who never made it home. The little boys and girls that never made it home. And we honor them. We honor them by way of these tikanagans, these cradle boards. And we honor them as well by offering them this food so that we can nourish their spirit. And that we never, ever forget what they have done for us and the work that we need to do. An amazing part of these gatherings and offering the Spirit plate is it has rekindled the spirit of our people. Many of our communities are now standing up and wanting justice and for the right things to be done. And we all play an important part of being able to do that. And we're going to do this by offering this food into the fire so that they know that we are still here with them. And as the previous speaker spoke about, Chief Bearhead, is that they need to know that we still love them and that we love one another and that together we're going to move things forward for them and we'll never forget. So I wanted to offer that in a kind way, in a respectful way. And I know that people do things differently from wherever your nation comes from, but I'm sharing the teaching from where I come from, knowing that this is how we do things in a kind and respectful way. And that the lighting of that fire this morning gave us that brightness for the day. I also want to encourage that all of us, at the end of the day, that we go to the fire once the fire is out and take a small chunk of that coal and bring it back to your community and use that coal to light your fire so that the fire continues burning that was started here 2 years ago. I remember in 1973, I believe it was, I was talking to the elder from Alberta. We attended the Indian Ecumenical Conference in Morley, Alberta. It was the first time in our history that all the nations across Turtle Island came together. Every tribe, every nation, all of our knowledge keepers, all of our spiritual people were there. And they made a sacred fire under the arbor. And it was the same thing we did there. The elders at the time, the old people said, take a chunk of that coal and bring it back to your community so that our culture and our language and our traditions will continue. And we did that. And we still have the chunk of coal. And when we light our fires in our communities, it's a reminder of where these spiritual movements start from. And the movement that began here with the Office of the Special Interlocutor is an inspiration for us to move forward as well. And we're going to honor these children by bringing this food to the sacred fire. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening to me. Miigwech.